I'm going to talk to you about a concept called cultural syncretism. And no, it doesn't mean the synchronization of two cultures. That's way too neutral. But since on my page we've been talking about colonialism, it makes sense to talk about ways that people have resisted being colonized. This is Latino Studies 101, and I'm your professor, Dr. Esther Trujillo. And when I kicked off this TikTok channel, I told you that this was going to be a seminar on race, power, and resistance. Haven't talked too much about power and resistance, so let's talk about resistance. Cultural syncretism is a process by which two or more cultures come together to create a third new culture. This isn't a neutral process. It's not like the Spaniards and the natives held hands and danced around a fire and were like, yay, let's make a new culture. No. Cultural syncretism is a result of the non-dominant cultures fighting for their lives. A dominant culture, especially in the context of colonization, comes in and attempts to eradicate and replace what exists there. So cultural syncretism is the way that cultural traditions and cultural productions are maintained despite and in the face of their systematic eradication. So cultural syncretism can be seen in the ways that native cultures maintain their religious practices, linguistic practices, culinary practices, even things like architecture and art. One of the most interesting modern artifacts of cultural syncretism is the Royal Spanish Dictionary. I forgot what percentage of the words in Spanish come from Arabic, but it's a pretty substantial number. What are some of the words in Spanish that come from Arabic? I don't know. Alacrán, alquimista, albóndiga. Pretty much anything that starts with AL, very likely that it's from Arabic. Now, in recent years, the Royal Spanish Dictionary has also added words that are from, or that derive from Nahuatl and other Native American terminologies. Why? Because these words have seeped into the Spanish language and transformed it. Okay, like aguacate and guacamole. And that one, guacamole, that one's even in English now, right? It's not like there's an English translation for that or even a Spanish translation for that. It is a native word. There are so many other examples of cultural syncretism. For example, why do you think every Latin American country has a different type of Catholicism? Or maybe you've wondered why pork is such a commonplace ingredient in recipes throughout Latin America. We could talk about cultural syncretism all day. Let me know in the comments if there's any signs or examples of cultural syncretism that you've noticed.